Hello everyone, I wanted to post another video about loss, but before I do that, I wanted to let you know that my cat is here. He always wants to be in the picture or the video. I've had to redo this video twice now because he decides to run through it and meow and all kinds of stuff. So if he does that, I apologize. I just don't want to have to redo the video again. And I guess he wants to be a star. Um, anyways, so I wanted to talk about your immediate loss. So, like when it immediately happens. So, for me, I remember he died on July 4th, right? As fireworks are being lit off. I remember that I just slept and slept and slept and slept for a long time. I also did not eat like I should have. I just didn't care to eat. And my body was in all sorts of pain, migraines, and just different things because of all the stress that I had been under. And I was so drained and I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't get my words together. All that's quite normal. So it's called grief loss, or yeah, it's grief loss. But it's like when you lose somebody, especially a spouse, you can't remember things. I know it sounds weird. I called it widow brain, just because it just feels like everything's out of control. I felt like I was going crazy. And when I saw my hospice nurse, she said that's what everybody feels like, but you're not. It's because your body and your mind are still trying to comprehend what has happened, and it takes it time. But so I just kind of wanted to talk about the first, at least my experience from the first few weeks, maybe a couple months in. So I just remember being very, very tired because, my husband had been sick for over a year. So we had treatments and procedures and treatments and all these kinds of things that are taxing. So when it happened, I was so drained. That's the first thing. Then right after he passed away, I was like, now what am I supposed to do? I've been taking care of him for over a year. He was my husband. Now what am I supposed to do? Right? That's what I kept asking myself. And for me, I wanted to get education or help. So one of my avenues was hospice counseling. So if you have someone die from cancer through hospice, they offer you free counseling for over a year. And your friends and family can also get that as well, just in case you didn't know that. And I was seeing her regularly at like every week for a while. And she said everyone feels like they're going crazy. But again, you're not. I just want you to make sure you're not going crazy. It's normal, because I thought I was losing my mind and going crazy as well. I also was suicidal at times, which, I think everyone kind of might go through that. But there were a few times where I was like, oh, I could just do this and not be here. I could drive off the bridge, things like that. So just be aware that you're there. So they call that passive suicide ideation, I think. I might have it a little bit wrong, but it's just basically, it's where you think about it, but you're not actually going to do anything. So if you were to make a plan, that means you need to get help because you're close to actually doing it. So just make sure you get some help from your counselors, or they have a number now that you can go to. There's all kinds of support. There's websites that you can message. You can call your doctor, go to the hospital, all kinds of stuff. And then I started reaching out, just trying to find any resources. There's not a ton of resources online about grief and loss and how to deal with it. But then I found about Grief Share, which is through, it's a Christian faith-based program. So and it's free. So I went through that program and I got connected to such an amazing group of people. They became my family. They helped me through all of it, honestly. Um, and it took it when I first found out about GriefShare, I was like, how am I going to find the right one? And I had tried a few, and then one of my contacts was like, hey, I know someone that does grief work. And it happened to be someone at a church. And so we made such a good connection, pretty much most of us in the group, and still in touch with most everyone. But they definitely helped me a lot. I mean, a lot. So I was doing GriefShare and hospice counseling. Then I decided to do regular counseling because I wanted to get it from all components, just because I like to be educated and I wanted to be able to make my own like formation of how I should handle things. So I actually went to counseling as well. The counseling, of course, was not faith-based. We did talk about faith and religion a little bit, but because I'd already been talking about that with hospice, I wanted to talk about the other side of it, you know? So we did connect and talk about it, but at the same time, we talked about it in like more of a like formation where it's not just faith-based, but medically based and things like that. So like I said, I try to get all my information. Just some of the things that I felt. Couldn't remember anything. I called it widow brain. I'm sure you probably get it from all kinds of loss, but I've never experienced losing my spouse before, and I've never had memory problems like this ever. I'd had a hard time sleeping. I had anxiety really bad. I was depressed. It's a good idea to have people help you. And, I'm like, what does that mean? So people will ask if they can help. And some people are genuine. Some people are not. But the thing is, it's hard to communicate that fact when you've lost somebody, when you can't figure it out yourself. And then if you can't tell your friend or family like how to help, they won't be able to help. So I'll do another video on that just because that was so confusing for me. But I really just wanted to explain, like the first few weeks for me was a roller coaster. I was tired, depressed, sad, angry. I don't know if there were any happy moments because I just felt like, why am I still here if my husband's gone? But I do remember getting very angry, and then I got upset because I was angry. But you need to know it's okay to be angry. It is good to have some solitude, but you don't want to isolate yourself, and I did the isolation thing. So you want to make sure you don't do that because you can go down a rabbit hole and get depressed and then, go further and get suicidal and all that kind of stuff. And you just need to find your support system. So GriefShare was great for me. It may not be great for you. You could find there's all kinds of even online groups that can help. So anyways, I just wanted to share about the first few weeks, kind of stuff that I went through and things that might help you. All right. Well, stay tuned for more information. God loves you. Have a good day.